In this episode, we'll talk about the 8 big issues with traditional people counting approaches. So, what's actually broken? If you look at a physical space where you might have a set of cameras and tracks of people going through the environment, a few things come up pretty common. First is what we call the single camera problem. You might work with vendors that really want to create a new setup with specific, dome cameras or really like sort of wide area kind of cameras, because the problem that they have is that they're optimized for one single camera, right? So defining regions, defining lines, but all in the context of one camera. So if you have an environment which is really best covered with a variety of cameras from different angles, well, the actual counting doesn't quite work with these solutions. The second problem is the janitor problem, which is that if a person, a janitor, walks through your area in almost like a loop, every approach that relies on a line being drawn, where all the people cross the line one way or the other, then the solution doesn't quite work. Another related problem is the overlap problem, which is that if you have a set of cameras that are incident on the same physical space, you might certainly have an overlapping viewpoint. And any person that crosses through that viewpoint is likely to get counted twice or thrice if the solution doesn't take care of that. And that's the overlap problem. You also have this issue of technical arcana, right? So you have all of this complex setup that is typically explained and used. So for instance, a business analyst just wants to know how many people went to the jewelry section. Instead, they have to deal with camera angles and camera configurations, which is really not what their focus should be. All of this done typically on-prem and typically with a lot of expensive hardware, because while the new world of AI has made these solutions more feasible from an accuracy perspective, what they've typically meant is that you have to spend a lot of money on hardware for that. And so that tends to be a problem. And there's some solutions that tend to think of cloud as the right place to do it. We are certainly in that category, but naive solutions will actually end up being inaccurate because you have to transport a lot of data to the cloud to get the data results to be accurate. The insights are quite limited. There is a variety of metrics and a variety of ways you might want to slice and dice the data. You might want to compare one location with another location, a section in a location with another section, and all of these things are typically not possible with most solutions. There's also no holistic view, honestly, which is a business question that an analyst might be asking might be very different from a question that the security guard is asking in terms of a forensic investigation that needs to be done. And there is no holistic view of all the different things that your physical security system might need to solve for. And that's another key problem that's currently broken in the ecosystem.